Barack Obama would not be sitting in the White House if he didn't get close to 70% of the Latino vote. While I was at Hunter College, I did an internship in the state government where I worked for Congressman Jose Serrano, but at the time he was an assemblyman. And I walked in, and the first day I introduced myself, hey, I'm David Lamb from Astoria, Queens Astoria Projects. And he goes, Lamb, Astoria? When I first moved to the country from Puerto Rico, the first African-American I met was Ricky Lamb. And I'm like, yeah, that's my uncle. And it was just a coincidence. But you know, that got me to thinking about how intimate our connections are in the neighborhood, and I started asking, well, why is it that we can dance and party together, but we can't take care of business together? Barack Obama would not be sitting in the White House if he didn't get close to 70% of the Latino vote. That's just the reality, you know? And so, in part, you know, in politics, you reward the people who support you, you know, and in part, his appointment of Sotomayor represents that, that political collaboration between the two groups. And as far as Thompson and Bloomberg, you know, I think a lot of people were scared off by the fact that Bloomberg was going to spend $100 million to run for mayor, and that kept a lot of people who may have otherwise supported Thompson from even approaching it. When I wrote the book, I was writing it around the time that David Dinkins was running for mayor against Giuliani, and Giuliani had just defeated him. And I was asking myself the question, how is this possible? How can we live in this city that is so heavily black and brown and a politician like Giuliani defeat Dinkins? I mean, that was like a specific example I was looking at and asking, how is this possible? There's no black news station. That's like incredible. The death of Emerge magazine still annoys me tremendously. We have no black political magazine. I mean, the NAACP has Crisis, and Crisis is very good, but it goes to their members. It's not a general magazine. It is very good, but it goes to their members. I mean, the death of Emerge, that's like, there has to be a way that a black political magazine could survive with 40 million, I'm not even counting, you know, Afro-Latinos for now. 40 million English-speaking black people in this country, we can't support one political magazine? That's like bizarre to me. I went to school, not acting like we were buddy-buddy or friends or nothing like that, but with John F. Kennedy Jr. He was in his third year when I went to my first year at NYU. And George magazine was able to survive. Do you remember George? It was a political magazine about the life of politics, really, that was able to survive off the strength of his name. You know, certainly, and he'll probably want to do bigger things, but Obama, if he left office, when he leaves office, he could start a magazine, O. I know Oprah already has O, but similar, you know, there's black actors, certainly, you know, Will Smith has the acclaim and the capital to do something like that. Now, I don't want to put all the weight on one person, but a model exists in what John F. Kennedy Jr. did with George that could be duplicated by a black person quite easily. Yeah, black media is definitely being hurt. We see it with, you know, we deal a lot with radio stations, and the radio stations were fighting the way ratings are determined. A lot of the black and the Latino stations actually were fighting the change in the way ratings were done, because the change was going to lower the number of listeners that they were said to have, and thereby reduce what advertisers were paying and demand for advertisement, and that hurt them. When we first started, there were more outlets on AM of black radio than there are now, and those are gone. A lot of the younger black stations, hip-hop stations, don't always have news outlets. You know, it's all music. And so there's no information being passed along.